Here with Pitt-Johnstown following the opening round game. Head coach Bob Pavina, student athletes John Paul Kromka and Joe Batt. Coach, we'll have you start off with an opening statement and then turn it over for questions.
Yeah, I'd just like to give some accolades to my seniors. We had 6 seniors who were 5th and 6th year guys, and they stuck with us all the way through. And these 2 guys have been just incredible for our program. We couldn't get any more humble guys and more hardworking guys than we've had. So I'm thankful for this group. It's going to be hard to go on without them.
Mark Burdick from Renda Media of Indiana. Coach, congratulations on a good season. First regional appearance since 2009, 5th overall. So there's been a gap. So talk about the satisfaction that this season brought, and as you mentioned, your athletes.
Yeah, it really did. I mean, we talked about what a fine line it is to make the tournament. I think there's 45 or 46 teams in the region, and 8 teams go, and that's when there's no upsets in the conference tournament. So it's very difficult. I know, like IUP, West Liberty, they're like here every year, but for the rest of everyone else, it's really a challenge to get here. So I'm really proud of our guys for making it. So, you can't ask for any more. The rest is icing.
John Paul, I know you've had some challenges the latter part of the season health-wise, right?
Yeah.
So talk about fighting through those challenges, and also, PSAC Defensive Player of the Year, a nice award there, and certainly a lot of memories that you'll take with you.
Yeah. Towards the end of the year, every year getting banged up, but this year especially, got a broken nose in a game, and then it was like a concussion too. But I still, the next game we lost at Mercyhurst in the PSAC quarterfinals, and sitting on the bench and watching the game was just hard to do, both physically, like with what was going on in my head, but then also like being on the same team with him and all those other guys for the past 5 years. It was just like I wanted to be out on the court with them, and if that was how we were going to go out, it didn't seem like it was fair. It didn't seem like it was right. So just very, very grateful for Joe especially, but all my teammates, and we got one more opportunity to play together. And yeah, we're talking about the Defensive Player of the Year award. Like all that stuff is great in the postseason, all that stuff, but in the long run, like it is what it is. Like it's a great accolade, but I'm just glad that I was able to play with these guys. That's what made the year for me every year.
Coach Pat Doherty from Renda Media. West Liberty kind of did what they do today. Really up tempo, kind of took you out of your rhythm, especially early. They kind of jumped on you a little bit, and then you guys were playing catch up the rest of the game. I mean, I'm sure you knew that coming in.
Yeah, that's exactly what we talked about. We've played this year the 3 best pressing teams in the country. We played Nova Southeast, who's #1 in the nation, 31-0. We played East Stroudsburg, and this is the second time we played West Liberty. We did not fare well in any of it. We prepared, but again, they do what they do. They do it well. And we had a game plan. They're averaging, I think, attempting 43s a game. So our game plan was, let's limit their threes, limit the help, make them play one-on-one, go to the basket. And one thing with West Liberty, I said to my assistants, whatever you give them, they'll take. They don't depend on threes. If you take their threes away, they drove the ball. So I just give them a lot of credit. They're just hard to guard. There's so many skilled players, and they share the ball. I think they're a great passing team. We're a very good passing team also. And it's just fun watching him, except tonight.
Coach, Mo Zukic, Indiana Gazette, actually for John Paul. I know you got your stats tonight, 6 blocks, but a pace like this, a team that's this fast-paced, how does that take you out of what you do on defense? Do you kind of feel out of your element going up against a pace like that?
Yeah, sure. Like it's way different playing than playing most PSAC teams where most PSAC teams have like a true big guy, where he'll be down in the paint. But here, going 5 out, it's hard to, I guess, have that presence in the paint, especially if we were trying to limit their threes, so he can't really help over as much. So yeah, it's just really different whenever they can go 5 out, space the floor, and they all have shooters on the court. It's tough to guard.
Question for Joe. Joe, how would you summarize your experience playing at UPJ and what has it meant to you to make the NCAA tournament?
Honestly, couldn't even think of anything better than what the past 5 years have been with all my coaches, Coach Rook, and John's been my roommate for the past 5 years too, and yeah, it's just been a beautiful experience. And then, yeah, making the tournament this year, that's been our goal. We've been pretty close a couple times, and then that was really nice to get it for us seniors especially. Yeah, we worked super hard all year for it.
Joe, just to follow up to that, with everything that everybody has been through these past few years as we continue to, I hate to even say, ease out of COVID, I think we are past that point now. Does that make it even extra gratifying? Because I think everybody's been through hell, right?
For sure, yeah. Yeah, the uncertainty of that year, and then he definitely was praying we all were going to come back for the 5th year, and we did, and but it all worked out because, I mean, we get to spend another year with all of these guys. Like, it's really been great, yeah.
And finally, Coach, final question I have, 34 years, well over 500 victories. Early on in your comments today, sound like there's more in the tank for Coach Bob, so
Yeah.
I guess you plan on continuing.
I just told these guys in the hallway, it's gonna be difficult without them. I mean, most guys are there 4 years, these guys have been here 5 years, and Drew Magistro 6 years because he redshirted here, so it's gonna be, just a lot of time together. And all the years I've had, these guys are probably the most special group that I've had. So I'm gonna miss them. We'll see how next year goes. I might not like it very much next year.
Speak your back.
We'll see.
You're planning on coming.
I'm planning on coming back, as of now.
And then we'll finish out with kind of a two-parter first for Coach. Where does John Paul rank as far as shot blocking artists, kind of in your tenure?
Well, he broke the all-time block shot record, but he impacts the game like that, but that's not even the biggest thing. Defensively, he's without question the best defensive player. Actually, he's the best player I've ever coached. I mean, just straight up, all around. I mean, he shot almost 70% from the field this year. He led the conference in block shots. He's 4-time defensive player of the year. But he's a win, and on top of that, he's the most humble guy you ever saw. The guy never dunked the ball in warm-ups. But in the game, he'll do it. I mean, that's how humble he is. And, we're gonna miss his leadership too. Just not all the accolades like he said, but he's a winner. And that's the best compliment you can pay someone.
All right, perfect. Thank you, guys.